Hi everyone, it's Tammy with the Frou-frou Studio. Welcome back to my channel for another episode of Nothing But Neutrals. Nothing but neutrals. We are on week 4, and this week is belly band. For those of you that are new, Nothing But Neutrals is a weekly challenge that I am doing, in which you're to use nothing but neutral colors, and the colors are black, white, brown, and gray, and any value thereof. So, it can be a white, a cream white, a tan, beige, grays, dark, light, you get it. Anything that's a neutral. It just can't have any color. So we are on week 4, like I said, and this week is a belly band. So I am going to make a belly band for my journal that I made for this particular challenge that has all neutrals in it. And I'm going to try and do something that is new to me. It's probably been done before because, like I said previously, it's hard to come up with something that nobody has done, just simply because there's so many makers out there that, it's hard to come up with something that you've not seen or seen some variation of. So I'm going to use this junk mail envelope to make my belly band. And this is just where I have used this to soak up some oxide or something on, but we're going to cover that up, so I'm not worried about it. So the first thing I want to do is measure my page so that I can determine how tall this needs to be. If you hear a rumble in the background, you probably can't hear it, but just in case you can, Farmer Fred is cutting the hayfield today, behind us. So that's what the noise is you'll be hearing. And it would also explain if I start sneezing. Which hopefully I won't, but hay is one of the things that has the tendency to make me sneeze a little bit. I'm going to keep this because I like that pattern, and I might use some of it to cover the front of the envelope. Okay, so now we have the length of our belly band. Now what I'm going to attempt to do, and I say attempt because, like I said, I've not done this before, is I want to use this Tim Holtz picture, and I want to put it in the window like this. So I'm going to glue this on the back, and you can see it fits almost exactly. And then I'm going to do a collage to cover all of the envelope. And then I want to take this couple, and I want to put this on top, but I want to put it like it's a slide, so that when it's in the journal, you can slide it up and see their little kiddos. So that's my plan. We'll see how it goes. I think I know in my mind how to make it work, but we'll see. And then I'm going to take this piece, which is out of my German autograph book, and I'm going to cut that down to be a journal card, and I'm going to leave it just like it is because I like just how it is. And it is dated the I always have to think about this because they write their date backwards. So it's probably August 2nd of 1914. Okay. So we'll move that for the time being. Oh, and I'm going to put this, I'll say I'm going to leave it just like it is, but I'm going to put this advertisement on the front of it, but this I'm not going to mess with. So we'll move that out of the way and we'll start collaging the front of this and then see if we can put it together. And I just went through and pulled out a bunch of different neutral scraps out of my little scrap thing, and I'm just going to tear them up and decoupage around the edges. So maybe this one. Here. So I hope everyone had a great weekend. I'm filming this on Monday. I had a good one, but I was redecorating this weekend. And I am sore. My body is tired for sure today. I was moving furniture around and I've been hanging a little bit of wallpaper on a feature wall and doing stuff like that. So yeah, my body can feel it. And I'm going to glue that whole piece down because I don't want this particular piece to be one big chunk of the same thing. So I'm going to find my glue book. It's the first thing I'm going to do. There we go. I'm about out of this one. Alright, so where's my glue stick? I'm not prepared. I thought I was all ready. Obviously, I'm not. Okay, and so now let's do something across the bottom here. I'm gonna use that, but I'm gonna cut it off because I'm not gonna try to rip something that narrow. Alright, and then up this side, let's do that, and I think I'll go all the way up. And again, I'm just going to glue it down and then trim it off. Hope you guys are liking this series. I'm really enjoying it. I like to challenge myself. I think that's fairly straight. Alright, so we'll trim these two off. Okay, now let's do that, and I'm going to come down over the top edge just a tad so that I cover where that little rounded part is and I don't have to deal with it. We had a heck of a storm yesterday. I mean, it poured buckets, and it felt like the cloud with all the thunder and lightning in it was sitting right on top of our roof. It was so loud. It was blowing limbs everywhere, so hubby spent this morning picking limbs up. We have very big old trees in our yard. I think I told you before that our house was originally built in 1920, so it's over 100 years old. It has been remodeled since, but the trees in our yard are huge, and they don't like the wind all that much. We had them professionally trimmed. Was it last year? I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, but we had them trimmed so that we wouldn't have anything fall on the house, and I feel fairly confident that that part is okay, but we do lose limbs when it storms like that very often. I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to put another piece right there to cover that, where that's torn off on the corner. And we really didn't even know. I mean, we knew it was supposed to rain, but we didn't know it was going to storm like that. Luckily, we didn't have any hail or anything like that because our cars were outside. Okay, and I don't like the color of that one. What else we got? I think I'll put that across there. And I'm not worried about there being extra layers because it's just going to strengthen up this piece so it's not so flimsy. Now, if you wanted to, you could flip these over the backs instead of cutting them off, but I thought it would be better to cut them off since we're going to have a card slide behind there. I need one more piece to go right there. It's always the way it is, isn't it? Oh, I'm going to use this because this says Family Grocer. That almost has enough glue on it already to stick it down where I've been putting the glue on the other pieces. Alright, so there is our envelope covered. And I'm going to put some ink on that. Get my little scrappies out of the way here. I think I'm going to use scorched timber so it's nice and dark. Find the right one. Okay. Go all the way around. Not a ton, just enough to kind of define the edges a little bit. Alright, now let's glue our children on the back of here. So if I put art glitter glue just right around the very edges of this, we should be okay. If I can draw a straight line with the glue tip. Which obviously I can't. Okay, make sure I don't glue it upside down. Alright, so we want it to go this way. We got some glue on the inside of the acetate. I think it'll be alright when it dries. We'll kind of squish it out the other way. Okay. That's gonna stick. Yeah, I think that's gonna be fine. Alright, so we're going to give that a minute to dry, and then we're going to work on our slide. Now my thought is, I'm going to take this black cardstock and I'm going to measure the width plus, I'm going to do it plus an inch for now. That may be too wide, but we're going to start there and see where we go. Alright, so then if I bend this, let me think about this. If I put this behind, like this, and I bend this over, and I bend this over, nice. Look how straight that is. this again. Okay, and then that'll work on there, but what we want is to make sure that it's going to slide. Seems like it's going to slide fine. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to check it twice. Okay, so then we're going to take our card and glue on these tabs to the back of the picture. And I chose black cardstock so that the little bit that you can see is black and it's not distracting from the picture. Let me wipe that off. Where's my wiping rag? There it is. So now what we have basically is a little slide there. And then that should now go in here. Like that. So this is what you would look at, and then we'll put a little tab right here, and you slide it up, and there's the kiddos. So, and I think I'll make this little circle the tab. I'm just going to fold it in half. Which side goes better? Probably this one. No, I don't want to fold it in half. I want to glue it so that it's like that. And I might even put like a little, see if I have a little neutral something to embellish that with. Maybe a little neutral butterfly or something. Let's see. Don't see one there. Let me get my little tin of tiny things up here off my shelf. I don't see one in here either. Alright, well, I'm going to glue this on, and then maybe I'll run across something else. We're working on the rest of it. I can look in my butterfly thing, but I don't think I have anything that small. I'll take that off so I can ink it. Put it back in here. Alright, now let's work on our journal card. Okay, so this needs to trim down, and as you can see, there's no writing on the top part, so I've got some room to trim it down just fine. Make sure and allow enough space, so I think I'll go about right there. I buried my pencil. Now let's trim her ad down. So if I cut just inside those black lines on the sides and here. Oh, I'm going to do a little shorter than there. I'm going to mark the end, but then I'm going to come in on it just a little bit so I can see some of that nice background of that paper. So if I come just above, let me turn this around this way so I can see my little line. very straight. Still not very straight. I'll cut it right there. And about right there. Let's see where that gets me. I need to take a little bit more off this edge. It's gonna work. Alright, let's round these corners back. And this is already pretty thick because it's the, first page in the book. And so it was thicker material. So I'm not going to worry about sturdying that up any more than it is. I am going to ink around this. Alright, so let's make sure we're not doing it upside down. And I don't know why I put the glue on the card after I said I was leaving a border, because now I have glue where I don't want it. That's okay, we'll wipe it off. Alright, so there is my journal card, and probably want to put a tab on that as well. Wonder if I have. So that's going to stick in there like that, and I think that looks really cool with part of the car showing. Actually, it'll be in the middle one, but you'll definitely be able to see that it's a car. So do I want to put another circle? Or something else? I have this paper staring at me in my scrap bin that is like license plates. So one of those that This down here is neutral. This is Tim Holtz paper. It's neutral on the back as well. Yeah, that looks kind of cute on there, doesn't it? Alright, so that's what we're going to do for that. And I'm not going to worry about it flipping over. I'm just going to put it on the front right here. Okay, now it is time to put it in the journal and see if it's going to work. So, lost a tag out of here somewhere just then. Put it right there for right now. Alright, so I want it on this page. So we're going to glue it down. Hold that a minute. Okay, should we test it? Oh, it's going to be too long. I'm not going to be able to see the little boy. It won't go up far enough. Okay, we're going to fix it. Come up quick. Alright, so we're going to try to cut it right here at the bottom of the black part. Seeing real life action here, folks. Okay, put it back on. Alright, so now if it was glued down, it'd probably go to about right there. It needs to go to about right there. So how would we... How are we going to make it go to here? Dilemma. Dilemma. Can't be cutting the little boy's head off. Oh, it was such a cute idea. I didn't even think about that, having to be able to slide above the page. All right, so it's definitely not going to slide more than about right there. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. I'm going to cut this off. Sorry, you're going to lose your feet, little girl. We're going to salt this. I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to glue that back together. Actually, that's glued pretty good. Alright, so let's ink that. Okay, we're going to take a piece of paper. What did I do with the... piece that had the inside of that envelope? Because I know it's the right width. Alright, so we're going to cut a piece of this. Bear with me, guys. I'm not giving up yet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this around here, like this. Wrap it around the top of the page. So if I do it to the top of the page, it will now go that far. Pull this down a little more. Alright, so make this where it just barely folds over the top. Whoops. Alright, so that will be like that. This will slide up. Okay. We got it, I think. Alright, so this will wrap over. So remember, if you're doing this, don't do what I did. Give yourself ample space. So that your slide will work. Fold that over. put our slide on. It will now slide that far. And then we're going to take this piece and we're going to put it down here, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to wrap it around the page just to give it a finished look. And fold this up. And it should come down and then pull on it. Yay, we did it. Okay, now let's put our journal card in there. And it still fits fine. Yay! Sorry about that, but that took a second for me to figure out how to make it work. So, lessons learned. The whole process works, except you have to remember that you need to wrap, and I got something that's not glued down all the way. I'll have to find out what that is so it won't hang so bad. You have to wrap the end of your belly band around the page so that that will lift up enough to the bottom and the top, actually, so that that will lift up enough to allow clearance for your window. Now, if you don't have a big window like I have and you have one of the smaller ones, that may be a different story depending on how it's placed, you know, where the window is placed on your paper. So, but just something to keep in mind. So there we go. There is belly band week 4. We need to put our 4 on there. And like I said, I just do these stamps for me to keep up with. So I know what week it was and what we did. You don't have to do that. I mean, it's just me doing it for me. So, I mean, you can do it if you want to, but it's totally not necessary. I used to do numbers when I did Margaret Miller's collage challenge as well, just so I could go back and look at the prompts and see what my prompts for the collage were. But like I said, and I usually try to make it a piece of, you know, what I'm working on where it makes sense. But you don't have to do that either. It's up to you. No rules, except for you have to use neutrals and you have to create whatever pieces for that week. For this week, it was belly band. Next week, we are doing page edges. So, you know, be thinking about that and what you're going to do for that. Any kind of page edge. It could be fabric, it could be paper, it can be, you know, whatever you want to make it out of. It just has to be neutrals. That's all. Only rule. So, that's it for this week. And again, thank you for letting me work through that in my mind. And I'm glad we were able to make it work. And I will see you guys back tomorrow for No Digitals Allowed. Until then, everybody have a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.